They say there are three things that impact marriages. One of it is infidelity, another is disagreement about money. What's the third one?
In-law relationship. In-law and other relationships.
Absolutely.
Yes, relationship with others. Yeah.
So not creating boundaries around this relationship can really derail many marriages. But there is one thing that we have discovered working together. It's impacting people that have been married for about 5 years, 7 years, and sometimes 10, 15 years. Is business. Business. They are so busy, and there is a good reason for that. They're in that phase of their career where they are building the career as probably taking off, and some of them might be promoted to managerial roles. And now, some of them may be starting some side hustle. I know a number of people right now that are starting side hustle, in addition to what they already have. Because they have looked at. I remember one time, I looked at I went to the state pension and I looked at how much I'll be getting in a particular year. I think 2048 or something. And I was shocked. I was like, is this what I'm expecting? Man, guy, you better work hard, you better build. And so that unconsciously just put pressure on me to say, you know what you're generating, you need to do this, you need to do X, Y, Z, you need to do. And so unconsciously, for you to achieve that goal, the natural default is to invest more time, which is a topic for another day. It's not necessarily putting in more time. Yeah. There are other ways of actually scaling and getting more money without you having to put more time onto something. But sometimes that is the default programming, but that's what we've seen our parents do, that's what we've seen people do, and that's what we want to do. And so that put a lot of pressure. And recently, my wife and myself, we have a business that we more like invested in, that has taken a toll of our time, moving from one part of the country to the other, and the good thing about it is that we are doing it together, which brings us to the point of what we are saying. When you find yourself in a situation where you've been promoted at work, and so you come back late in the evening, your wife is in bed or your husband is in bed, your children are in bed, there's no form of communication, no pillow talks, no, can you put the duvet, let's watch Netflix, let's watch that series. Weekends again, there is one thing you have to troubleshoot, you have to go away, and okay, just a temporary thing, let me just find my feet. I've just been promoted, and then 1 week turns into 2 weeks, into 1 year, into 2 years, and then just becomes normal. Unconsciously, sometimes people begin to grow apart, and that's where the problem comes. What does it mean to grow apart?
You've lost touch on what's happening in each other's lives.
Absolutely.
You have no idea what's going on. It's also possible that one may have outgrown the other, and I think that's when we talk about mental intimacy.
Absolutely. You've lost touch. So you are living with the person, but you are actually, both of you are strangers right now. Yeah. They are making decisions. You guys are not in tune with each other, and so you're just making basic decisions. You don't really know the concerns of this person. Yes. One of the exercises that we'll do when we talk with couples, we ask them, what is important to your husband right now? What is their number one goal? What is important to your wife right now? What is their number one goal? It's amazing that some people don't know.
That's true.
And they live together under this. They don't know what is pressing for them right now. Like, if I ask my wife now, what is number one on my mind that I want to do? She will tell you without even blinking.
Sometimes we're thinking it's what it used to be.
Yeah.
Not realizing that spouse may have walked into another phase.
Absolutely.
New challenges.
Absolutely.
So it may have changed.
Absolutely. And that's point to your point in terms of not being in touch. There was a word you use or a phrase you use in each other, what is happening in each other's lives. Because if you are in touch, you definitely know what is the priority for your spouse. So whatever is their priority is where they channel their focus, their energy, their money, their resources, their connection. So it's very important for you to know.
I think I was speaking with someone and she tried to make light of this issue. And sometimes when I hear this, it makes me very uncomfortable. It leaves me feeling very uncomfortable because I'm thinking, do we realize that marriage is about us actually having that connection?
Absolutely.
If we lose that connection, then why are we here? You see, so when you hear spouses and they say, oh, I don't have time for those mushy things, you start wondering, then really, if you're thinking these are mushy things, then I hope it's not an incident, or it won't take an event to wake you up.
Yes.
A very, staggering event to wake you up. We don't need things like that. So we need to understand the essence of marriage. The essence of marriage is that, I think one of it is companionship.
Absolutely.
That you're not doing life on your own.
Absolutely.
So even if you're saying, okay, for some reason, in the phase of life you found yourselves, you have to be apart, or you are very busy and there's no time to probably spend a lot of time together, you should still, what we're throwing out today is the intentionality. You should still want to touch base to know what is happening, what's up with this person. I think I was speaking with someone and we're trying to analyze how possible it is to delegate certain things in life. So yeah, you could delegate jobs at work, and somebody said, the lady said, you can even delegate being a parent. I still would question that, right? Okay, but you probably have grandmas who can come in to support. But the way I say it is, if you understand that there's a reason God chose you for that child to come through you, and God must have equipped you with that thing for that child, then you should be rising up to the occasion. But we'd leave that for another day. But then as you assess the energy, okay, we can delegate parenting, but how about marriage? Do you delegate that?
No, you don't.
Do you see? So if you're not there for your spouse and somebody else is there for your spouse, then somebody else is playing your role, really.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's one key thing we've realized that is impacting marriages. Busyness. At the end of the day, the only thing you have to give to your partner is a leftover emotion, because you are tired. It's understandable if it's a temporary situation, but you have to put an end date to the whole chaos. Otherwise, that chaos becomes your new normal and people begin to grow apart. So for us, we always like to bring preferred solutions. For us, because we have gone through this, we are going through this right now.
Yes.
There's a project I'm working on that is taking a toll. I've been sleeping just about 3 hours or 4 hours every other night, and it's coming to an end, thankfully. But one key thing that works for us is that no matter how busy or what I'm doing, I try to bring my wife on board. This is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing, this is what she knows my deadline, she knows my timeline, she knows what I'm projecting, she knows what I want to do, she knows everything. So sometimes you know, okay, how far have you gone? How far have you gone? She knows, so she's not feeling neglected. I'm bringing her into that space. It's very important for you to do that. I know some of you may say, I do something very technical, you may not understand. Simplify it.
Yes.
One of the traits of a genius is to be able to simplify a complex thing in a way that anybody can get it. So show your genius. Simplify whatever you're doing, no matter how complex. Even aerospace can be simplified to a 5-year-old. So simplify it for your partner to be able to grasp. All right, if he or she is not in your field. All right, so that's one key, bringing them in. 2, doing those things together. I told you there's a project me and my wife got into that took a lot of weekends. We are constantly on the road, but we are constantly on the road together. And so there's a connection, there's a rapport, there's a building, there's a catch-up, there's a connect. Very critical, very, very important. Another key thing there is make sure you create boundaries around this and say, okay, this is going to end at this time. In fact, for me personally, at the point I told to myself, I said, I'm going to start turning down some opportunity, when I get to a certain level. Because there is a target we have for ourselves of what we want to do at certain age, and so because the time is ticking, and so we're just trying to quickly do a lot of things. Now, there's something I wanted to talk about while we're preparing for this video, is that another reason why some people grow apart or people are busy is because they've relocated. Now they are settling to a new country.
That's right.
I'm telling you, sometimes, I don't know who you are, I don't know if this affects you. Sometimes people underestimate how long it takes to settle into a new country. It takes, you are learning a new system, a new culture. There are new things you need to get to incorporate, to get into the system, So it takes some people 5 years, 5 whole years. Think about it, 5 years. If you have a child and that child after that child is 5 years old, that's a big boy, a big girl. Some people it takes them 8 years, some people 10 years and more. So that relocation, that process, now you need to start some people start from the bottom, doing some kind of jobs that they'll put you in some odd times. So we understand that we are not being insensitive to say, oh, you people don't get it. Hey, we get it. We are only saying that while you're doing that, keep your eyes on the goal. Don't make sure that some key things, some balls don't drop. That some balls will drop. That's inevitable, certainly. Yeah. Some balls do, but there are some balls that can drop, and one of it is your relationship. Because I've seen people that work so hard, and when it was their time to celebrate, is when they were served the divorce paper. What do I mean by that? After they've worked hard, done PhD, done this, build that business, by the time you're not like, say, you just hear the partner say, I'm not doing it anymore. You were like, okay, so what was all that hula baloo about? All that working hard, all that being away, what was it all about? You don't want to be in that situation.
Something I realized is what we're talking about is really critical, because when we're so busy, it affects a lot of things. You talked about communication earlier, because we don't have that time to talk. It could affect even your conflict management, because you're not in a state of mind where you can give your best, because you're constantly, it's like the next thing. So you may be living on reserve, running on reserve for a long time. So you could be easily triggered, or may not even have the energy to want to just, resolve an issue, talk through until an issue is resolved. You see why it is important that I think sometimes when we realize that, oh, this is very important, my marriage is important, we give it the level of commitment it requires. That commitment is what will get us going, knowing that, I am committed to this marriage. So if anything is not right, I want to see that it is solved, it is resolved, it is fixed. You see, and that's what we're calling for, that we put these structures in place to help us.
Fantastic. I hope this helps. Yes. And to come your way again next week or next time.
It's goodbye from us.
It's with Chidi.
I am Chidi Akunna.
I am still Victor. I'm not changing my name.
Always will. Now, this is Foundation for Family Affairs, and at Foundation for Family Affairs, our mission is to connect hearts and raise healthy families. And that's why we're speaking to the connection between you and your spouse today. Let's go get connected.
Absolutely.
All right. See you next time.
Bye.